This is City SC Posse. STL Soccer first, always. An NFNPPOD production.
All right, welcome to the inaugural episode of the City SC Posse. How about that? So, Kev, my bro in the house, your first podcast, I think, right?
It is my first episode here, so excited to be on and see what this podcasting's all about.
And now you're an official co-host, and we're under the NFNPPOD Productions LLC under that umbrella. So for everybody that's an NFNP listener, if you want to know a little bit more about St. Louis City soccer, that's what this podcast is all about. It's going to be a lot shorter. We're just going to chit chat. I think it's going to be pretty casual. I'm not going to get into any crazy stats. We're just going to talk about what we see on and off the field, right? You agree?
Yeah, just the experience that we had down there, what we saw. We don't have to get too heavy into stats. Maybe some betting. I like to jump onto the DraftKings app and throw down a couple bucks here or there, but yeah, I don't think we need to get too heavy into the game. Other podcasts will handle that.
That's right. So we want to make it easy, quick, to the point. St. Louis soccer first, always. That's our official
Absolutely.
tagline. I love it. If you want to see any more information on the websites, the blogs, it's nfnppod.com, and you can find St. Louis City Posse right on there. So without any further ado, let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So this episode is going to be mainly the recap from Matchday 1. So new season, it's our fourth season. For a little bit of background, I've been a season ticket holder from day one, and now Kev and I split the tickets. So, pretty much for all the home games, one of the two of us will be there, barring anything crazy. And then we usually like to double dip sometimes too.
Yeah.
But we both went. We both went to this game. Of course, it's the season opener, so I felt it only fitting. And it was a good time. That's one thing I have to say about St. Louis City. Regardless of what is happening on the field, the stadium atmosphere, the pregame vibes, the music, the food, the drinks, all of that is top notch.
It's always rocking down there. Good people. Nobody's getting into arguments around the scene from what you can generally see, except for the occasional, and some good banter with the Charlotte fans as we ran into them, but it was all friendly, and the music, the food, like you said, was fantastic, as it always is.
Yeah, now, so this was a day game, so it was a 1 o'clock start, which meant that we had to start our day a little bit earlier than I think we're used to. So we got down there pretty close to what, 10:30?
10:30, and it was a little chilly.
It was a little chilly at 10:30. That's right. The sun hadn't come out yet. So we started our pregame at the St. Louligans pregame party at Schlafly. So that was quick, easy. We got a beer. It wasn't too crowded yet, and that probably was because it wasn't the same vibe as I think we get on a Saturday night, probably just because it was so early in the morning.
So early, it's colder. People are trying to avoid the chill, but still really fun.
Yeah, they had their food trucks out there. The vendors were selling stuff. And one cool thing that I thought, the new sporting director, Corey Ray, came down, said hi, exchanged some merch with some of the crew there on site at Schlafly and the Louligan party.
Yeah, that was really neat to see him out and about by the fans. I'll say this to Schlafly, they have a great selection of beverages. Always rocking for you, and I'm a fan of that. That was a good time down there.
What did you get? I got the white lager, which I felt like was a good winter kind of a beer.
I ended up getting one of the pale ales that they had available.
Yeah, but then you second guessed yourself. You wanted the coffee stout, right? Didn't you want the coffee stout after the fact?
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, that's usually my beverage of choice when it's 10:30 in the morning and you're drinking your first beer. I like to get a little coffee stout going, but the pale ale was on point. It was really good. No complaints.
So then we
No complaints.
moved over to the city block party because I wanted to see American Authors.
Yeah.
So I've seen them. This is the second time that I've seen them live. Both have been recently. The other time was at the end of last year. They had done an event that I saw, and they're a good band, high energy, probably a safe choice for St. Louis City. They're politically correct and all of that stuff. Not too rock, a little bit more pop, a little bit more I don't know, folksy, kind of folksy, right?
Folksy, I think folksy is probably the right way to term it, and it's right up my alley. I thought their music was fantastic.
Yeah, they did a
Phrasing's
good
what I like
job.
to listen to.
Yeah, for sure. And cool that St. Louis City has that. Then they had a local aspect. Evie, is that how you said her name, or was it
I think it was Evie. I think you're right.
Evie?
That sounds
Yeah.
correct. And she
All right.
she
And they
performed, I think, 2-3 songs.
three songs, and it is a band, and again, she was local, young, but
Very
it was
good.
good. Yeah, and of course, plenty of drinks there, and I like that they had a coffee bar, even though I don't drink coffee, but coffee bar and a couple of other things. They have rum chata and
Yeah, saw
um,
some ranchada, saw
Bailey's.
some oh my goodness. Oh, I can't think of the name of it right now. It tastes like Christmas. Rumplemans? Rumplemans.
Rumplemans to go in your
Rumplemans
coffee
going,
or something. All
you
right,
really want to
tastes
get
like
after it.
Christmas. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Right, right. Well, you need that. You need that early in the morning. So the
yeah, I
gates
guess
opened
so.
at noon, right? Was it maybe it was a 1:30? Yeah, it was a 1:30 start. So gates opened at noon. We got in there probably, I don't know, 12:30 after American Authors.
Yeah,
They played Best Day of My Life twice. That was their
twice.
first
Yep,
song and their last song, right?
yep.
Got into the stadium. We got our little banners, which is cool. I've got a collection of those now. Took a
Yeah, I
walk
got mine
around the
back here.
stadium. And I wanted to try some of the new foods. They got 4 new food vendors, but we opted for the Detroit style pizza.
You got to go pizza on the first go around, I think, especially when you got something new. We weren't sure which pizza it was replacing, right? Because we had
Yeah, we
Dewey's
had
on
to
the
walk the
south
whole
side,
stadium before we found it.
the New York side by the supporters last year, and that's the one that switched over to the Detroit style. Very tasty. Liked it a
Yeah,
lot. I
yeah, I
will
did
say
too, actually.
I'm going to miss the New York style pizza.
Yeah, that was good.
Um,
I know.
a little bit more grease, little floppiness to it. I kind of love that, but a really good
This was
pizza that they put it
easier to eat, I think, and easier to take
totally
away than that
for
New York
sure.
style pizza, especially when you got 2 of them and you had to stack them and the cheese stuck
Yeah,
on the plate and the grease was spilling over. So they had this a nice
you
little
gotta.
like pan style cut into 4 pieces. Now I have no idea you covered this cost, so I don't know how much it costs. I'm not sure you do because of course you just scan your card, you walk in, you grab your stuff and you leave. So unless you looked at the receipt after the fact.
No, what I'll say is
No.
not knowing the price, I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like you said, you scan it and you just don't think about it, and that's how they get you.
Yeah.
But
Right. Right.
I don't think it was anything too crazy when it comes to stadium prices.
Right. Right.
Totally
All
worth
right.
it.
Well, let's get to the game then. So obviously, then we took our seats. They did some pregame stuff. They had some fireworks and whatever it is that they do. That was all good. Nothing
Very
nothing
good.
too crazy. Nothing out of the ordinary. Was it Jackie Joyner Kersey was there?
Yeah.
American Authors did the coin flip. So
Yep.
again, all fine and dandy. But let's get to the game, right?
Yeah.
So overall, and I pulled up some stats. The game was good. It was entertaining. I think
That
we
was
had
great.
a good time, and I felt like we more or less dominated the game just from looking at it. When I go and I look at the stats, it's clear that we dominated the game. But
Yeah,
there, I was like, oh yeah, we've got this game. We're in control.
it felt that way the whole time. Offensively, we it felt like we held possession the majority of the game, honestly.
It did. Now it
I
was
don't know
only
what the
50.
official counts were.
Well, I got it for you. 54% we had possession. So nothing crazy, but
Nothing crazy.
it definitely felt like and that's something that historically we haven't been great at. And when we do have possession, usually that's a bad sign. That means the other team has scouted us. They forced us into that.
They're
They're
forcing us
looking
to
for us to
that.
make mistakes. They're forcing the
Exactly.
counterattack. But this game, we held possession and we controlled the game. So in that sense, I chalk that up as a win, and maybe that's part of our new play style under the new coach.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, in the past, when we did have possession, it wasn't a good thing, right? Like they were forcing us to have possession to avoid the counters that we liked. It did seem like offensively, we do have a different style, which feels really good. Being able to possess that ball. We'll see. It's one game. Shots on goal. I feel like we had to have dominated shots at least
All right.
on goal.
Well, you
Maybe
ready?
not, but
I've got those stats too.
ready
So
for it.
yes, we had 18 shots,
Yep.
11 of which were on target.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that, I mean, again, that's a great stat, but it also just feels like years past where we can't freaking score.
Yeah,
You've got
for
11
sure.
shots on target and you only come
Yeah.
away with 1 goal.
Yeah.
So
Not good.
that was frustrating. The other team, Charlotte, had 8 shots, 3 on target, 3 and 1 goal.
One
So of
in.
course the game
Yep.
ends in a 1-1 tie. This is a game to me that we have to win. It's your home opener, your season
Mhm.
opener. You're looking, you got a new coach, new sporting director. You're looking to really make a statement, and you come
You
out.
have all that energy coming in, right?
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
that energy coming in to come away with a draw. What,
yeah,
1 point? Oof.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
unfortunate.
It's a little
That's
frustrating,
unfortunate.
and when you look at us in the standings, and again, now I know we're only 1 game in, but we sit currently in 11th place with 1 point. Now, here's what I found interesting. So, the top 8 teams in the division, the Western Conference right now, all won. So, of course, they played some Eastern Conference teams. So, then we also had some draws. So then, um, let's see. Minnesota drew, Austin drew, Galaxy drew, and we drew. So you only had 3 teams, Real Salt Lake, Colorado, and Sporting KC that took losses. And now we'll preview the next game a couple episodes from now. But San Diego, they had a dominant 5-0 win. They sit atop of the table right now, 3 points with a goal differential of +5. So again, I feel like we had a missed opportunity here. We probably should have won this game, and we blew it. Now, let's talk lineup, right? So right off the bat, Löwen, no Löwen. It's frustrating. I know he's got his situation with his wife, and you can't really get on him about that. He
Can't
needs to
fault
step
them
away,
about
needs to
that,
step
but
away. But this is one of your best players and somebody that controls your midfield. He's a set piece specialist, brings a lot of opportunity for attack, and he was missing, and he's going to be
a lot
missing
of
from the next game
opportunity
too.
for
So
attack, a lot of leadership. To your point, is really a strong piece on set plays, taking
yeah,
control of the ball, and to
yep,
mm, tough for a fan. Tough for a fan to see him not in there on the first game, but hopefully
for
we get him
sure.
back here soon, and would like to
Yep.
see him in the lineup.
Now, I thought when they were announcing at the game the starting lineups, I thought we were playing like a 5 in the back system. Now, technically, they have it listed as a 3-4-1-2. So 3 in the
Naturally,
back. Yeah,
yeah,
naturally, right? Like
naturally,
what kind of formation is that? 3 in the back, 4 or 5 really in the midfield. Hartel being the center attacker, and then
yep.
the 2 forwards. But really, to me, it felt like 3 center backs, 2 wing
Two
backs.
wings playing, yeah,
Yes, and
more
then the diamond in the middle. So 2 center mids with Durkin and Edelman, and then Hartel as this attacking midfield,
attacking. Yep.
and then Sung Bin and Becher leading the charge up top. Now, I don't know if Becher really does enough for you up top as a starter. Hartel gets the goal, right? So
Yeah, that was
Becher got the
the first goal of the MLS season,
sure. Oh, the first goal of the whole season, right? For the
of the whole
yeah,
season, yeah, which was
yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good catch for sure. I think Becher got the assist. Edelman got an assist on that, and then Hartel with the goal. Charlotte, they played a 4-2-3-1, so a little bit more of a defensive shape maybe, but all good there. Now, here's my thing. So pretty okay with the starting lineup given the situation. We had Wallem in there, Orozco, who played well last year, a couple of our new guys. Now we're still out, Falu Fall is out. But we had McNaughton come in, Totland, who I think should be starting in
Yeah.
all honesty. He came in. Miggy, the young kid, he comes in. Toy Shirt, he got a little bit of playtime, but you really got to be like Toy Shirt's got to step up, man. His fitness has to be better. He had injuries last year, but you're looking for more out of Toy Shirt. And if he's only coming in the I don't know what minute, but it felt like pretty late in the game, 80th minute
Yeah,
or
80th
something like
minute is what
that.
I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah,
You get him on some wind sprints, Matt. Get him out there,
yep, something. And
touching
then
some lines.
McSorley, I think he's got a lot of a potential, but definitely a
Potential,
little
yeah,
bit
he's
of
a
a
potential player.
youth movement here with bringing on those guys. No Pompeo. That was my biggest one. I was like, first off, I think Pompeo should be starting, and I know a lot of fans feel that way. He's a proven goal scorer, attacks the wings. How many times were we
A
taking
lot
the
of
ball down the
energy.
wing, Wallem, and instead of going to the corner and pressing the ball, he would just step on it, turn, and pass it back, which is my biggest pet peeve, and Pompeo changes that dynamic.
You said that once or twice, I think, during the game at a loud volume, yelling at him.
Yes, for
I like
sure.
Wallem because I like saying his name. I just like saying Wallem. I don't know
Yeah,
why,
yeah,
but that is a move that we see with him a lot. Pulling that back as soon as we get to the corner instead of pressing in. Would like
yeah.
to see a little bit more attack from him.
Agreed. I think that's just something in general we do too much. And I think it's an MLS problem too, in all
Yeah,
honesty. But certainly City, is we just pass it back, play it safe, instead of really pushing the attack, taking the space when you have the space. That's the other
that's a
thing.
big
And
one. Yeah,
yeah.
you don't see people do that enough for whatever
Mm-mm.
reason. They don't take the space that's given in front of them. They pass it off instead of pressing it up. I don't
Yeah.
know. I've said this before. I don't know. I'm sure they've got stats around all of that information from pulling that ball back when you're in the corner, readdressing it back, through the middle. Um, but it's just a different style from what I've seen in the past, and I just feel like you get more offense going straight
Yep.
back
And I
into it.
guess, and again, to your point earlier, I guess we'll just have to wait and see the new style. We're only one game in. But overall, entertaining game, fun game. I wish we would have come away with the win. The only nice little aspect to this was that prior to the game, we bet on the draw,
Naturally, yeah.
because it had much better odds. I think it was like
Oh, it
plus
was
220 or something.
yeah, it was like plus 230 for the draw. City winning was like minus 170.
Yeah,
Um, I think it was 130 the other way, minus 130.
right.
Why not take the draw there? Like it just felt like
Yeah,
going into it, I just knew it was going to end up being a draw.
yeah.
And
Well,
at those odds, you can't pass it.
that's what I was thinking. For the odds, we put the money down. We won a little bit, and we also bet on the corner kicks. And you asked me
Yeah,
about it, and I was like, so it was 10.5 was the number, and I said definitely go under. We don't get a lot of corner kicks,
we
and
felt great
then
going into it. Like the second half, were 3 corner kicks. We're like, all
yeah,
right,
to
this
start
feels
the second
really
half.
good.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well, in total, we ended with 6, and I was like, "Whoa!" Well, Charlotte only had 1, so we ended up winning both of those bets. Made a little bit of money, so that
yep.
was kind of fun. And so maybe I'll get in on some of this for the next game. I'm
Oh
not a
yeah,
big
worth it.
sports better, but it made
You
it
just
kind of
don't
fun.
throw down much money, right? Like you could throw
Yep,
down 5 extra bucks and feel like
exactly.
you got a little excitement on it.
Exactly. Yep. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next game here in town.
Yep.
We split the tickets, as I mentioned. I've got the next game, so that's against Seattle on March 7th, and then you've got the game after that, which is March 21st versus New England. So we'll have a little bit of back and forth here as we go throughout the season. This was just match day 1. This is just episode 1. If you liked what you heard, like I said, short, to the point, follow us, give us a like, subscribe, check out episode 2. We're going to talk a little bit about the extensions that we gave to some players, and we're also going to talk about a new signing. Kev, any parting words?
Like, subscribe, and let us know if you want to hear anything different.
That's right. I
But
think
not too
that
different.
we'll take
Not too different.
feedback. And
Yeah.
as I mentioned, if you want to hear about the altercation that we almost got into in line for the restroom, go listen to the most recent episode of NFNP. Me and the guys break that down. Take care,
Awesome.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.
You're totally crushing it, man.